The United Arab Emirates built the tallest skyscraper in the world right in Dubai. Qatar built a brand new capital city and hosted the most expensive FIFA World Cup ever. Saudi Arabia is working on a mega city that could cost over $1 trillion if it ever gets finished. These countries have changed fast, using their huge oil wealth and big projects. But what about Oman, their neighbor? Are they trying the same things? The answer is yes, but Oman is taking a very different path, focusing on careful planning and renewable energy, with no skyscrapers in sight. Today, we'll look at Oman's own race against time, a race shaped by limited oil money and a growing population. Oman is not copying its neighbors. Instead, it is building districts that respect nature and traditions, while preparing for a future beyond oil. Let's find out what makes Oman's approach so unique. Take a look at this picture. It shows one of Oman's new districts in the capital, Muscat. Compared to Dubai or Doha, it looks small, right? That's because Oman's design is very different. Today, the tallest building in Muscat is just 16 stories high. That's a hotel built only in 2016. To put it in perspective, Dubai had taller buildings way back in the 1970s. But Oman isn't building short because they can't. They just choose not to. To understand why, we need to go back to 1970. That's when Sultan Qaboos took over a country that was very isolated. Imagine this, only 10 kilometers of paved roads, most people with no electricity, and clean water was hard to find. That was Oman. Sultan Qaboos had a different vision for his country. Instead of copying Western styles, he wanted Muscat's buildings to blend with the coastal cliffs and mountains. Some visitors say it feels more like Switzerland than the Middle East, and that's exactly the look Oman wants. They focused first on building basic infrastructure and improving life for the people before thinking about big, flashy towers. Today, Oman faces a new challenge. Oil and gas make up about 50% of the country's GDP and about 70% of government income. This means Oman depends heavily on oil. That's risky, especially since the world is moving away from fossil fuels. Oman's oil resources are smaller than its neighbors, and the time to act is running out faster than expected. The International Energy Agency says global oil demand could peak by 2030. Oman has to find new ways to grow its economy. At the same time, Oman's population is growing fast, from around 4.5 million today to 8.5 million by 2040. All these people need homes and jobs. So, what's Oman doing about it? They came up with something called Vision 2040. Oman spent years talking to everyone, from business leaders in Muscat's markets to fishermen in small villages. The message was clear: people want progress, but they don't want to lose their traditions. The plan is huge. They want to rebuild the economy completely. For decades, Oman's economy relied on oil. Now they're planning special economic zones to attract businesses from around the world. They are building big infrastructure projects to make Oman a regional transportation hub. Plus, there is a national program for enhancing economic diversification. Education is also changing. Oman is updating schools to teach skills for the future, things like creativity, problem solving, and new technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and robotics. At the same time, the government is reorganizing to work better, managing natural resources more carefully, and pushing for a circular economy where waste is reused instead of thrown away. Building new homes and infrastructure is a big part of this plan too. One example is Sultan Haitham City. Forget what you know about mega projects in the Persian Gulf. There are no artificial islands or flying cars here. Instead, Sultan Haitham City is spread out over an area 3 times bigger than Central Park in New York. It has 19 neighborhoods, and while the design looks traditional, it uses advanced technology all around. Muscat has already installed over 13,000 smart LED streetlights that can cut energy use by up to 85%. Sultan Haitham City is taking that idea even further. The city will have sensors everywhere, monitoring air quality, traffic, and more. Instead of squeezing people into tall buildings, they're creating about 20,000 homes that don't block mountain views. Each building is placed to catch natural shade and breeze. Simple but smart design. There's also a 7.5-kilometer riverbed turned into a huge central park called the Central Green Spine. When it's dry, it's a massive park with trails and places to relax. When it rains, It acts as a natural flood control system that also helps save water. The city will have everything a community needs: a university next to innovation centers, 39 schools so every kid can walk to class, 25 mosques spaced perfectly for daily prayers, a hospital with 1,200 beds, sports facilities, and shops for local businesses. They're also building walking and bike paths and planning a mass transit system to connect this new city to Old Muscat. The whole project will happen in 4 phases. The first phase started last year and covers 6 neighborhoods with 6,700 homes. It's expected to finish by 2030. The remaining phases will be done by 2045, making room for 100,000 people. Sultan Haitham City is just one part of Oman's big plan. While Sultan Haitham City is growing outside Muscat, a different kind of project is happening in the heart of the capital. Oman wants to grow tourism to help diversify its economy. One major project is Khuwair Downtown, a $1.3 billion waterfront development designed by the famous Zaha Hadid architects. Muscat usually limits building heights, but this project can have buildings up to 150 meters tall. That's still small compared to Dubai's 800-meter skyscrapers. This development covers 3.6 million square meters. It answers a tricky question. How do you protect natural desert waterways, called wadis, while building a modern waterfront? Oman's solution is called green and blue infrastructure. The wadis flow into a network of waterways, and highways are turned into green corridors. The coast will have carefully designed beaches and dunes to protect the shoreline. Instead of filling the space with luxury towers, the project creates 5 districts that work together like a living system. Existing government buildings will be updated using recycled materials to reduce waste. This new downtown will be home to 64,500 people. Getting around will be easy with light rail, water taxis, and cycling paths. It will be walkable, even in Muscat's hot weather. Construction starts at the end of 2024, focusing first on healthcare and schools. This is just the first step and connects back to Sultan Haitham City. Further along Oman's coast, another big project is underway, the ET Development Master Plan. It aims to build the biggest sustainable community in the Middle East. The goal is to create a city that produces as much clean energy as it uses. Most of the infrastructure, 93%, is already finished. The first homes sold out right away. The whole community should be ready by 2026, making it the largest sustainable development in the region. Every building will use renewable energy. Waste won't go to landfills, it will be turned into energy. The most surprising part, even though it's a desert, 80% of the food eaten in ET will be grown right in the city. Urban farms will use new technology to grow food year-round. Electric buggies and shared e-bikes will replace cars on most streets. The goal is to cut residents' carbon footprints by 78% compared to normal housing in Oman. This project is already happening, showing how Oman is putting sustainability first. Why are all these projects happening? Oman's oil money is expected to shrink over the next 20 years, so the country is working hard to build new industries. Tourism is a big part of that. Oman has kept its traditional markets alive and protected its culture, while adding new infrastructure for visitors. In 2023, over 3 million tourists came to Oman, a 41% increase from the year before. People come for the mountains, ancient ports, and traditions that have lasted for centuries. By 2040, tourism could make up 10% of Oman's economy, supported by $51 billion in new investments. One big project is a $2.4 billion mountain resort at Jabal al-Akhdar. This resort sits 2,400 meters above sea level and will have a wellness village, space for 8,000 residents, and room for 4,000 visitors every day. But tourism is just part of Oman's plan. The country is also opening up more job opportunities for women and changing how the government works to give local communities more control. Right now, there's $33 billion in new construction projects planned across the country. This isn't just about big cities. New roads are connecting remote areas, ports are getting modernized, and traditional industries like fishing and farming are getting updated with new technology. Oman knows it can't rely only on natural resources to grow. It needs to use everything it has, including its people. At the end of the day, success isn't about how fast a country grows or how much money it makes. It's about whether life improves for the people who live there. Oman's path is very different from its neighbors. Instead of racing to build the tallest towers or biggest cities, it's focusing on careful planning, sustainability, and respecting tradition. But will it work? That's the big question. We'd love to hear what you think. Do you believe Oman's approach will pay off? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Giga Structures for more stories about amazing projects around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.